All the announcements are done. Hello, Abby. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Heck yeah.
How are you doing?
Pretty well.
Nice. So yeah, we're doing Shattered Memories, the final good Silent Hill game, some say. But with me, I have an expert in this game. It's Shmumbler.
Hey everyone.
So yeah, I say this is the last good Silent Hill game because it's the last game to feature the soundtrack of Akira Yamaoka. This is his last game before he goes away from Konami forever. But we're doing all mementos, which means we have to collect 25 items. So in 3, 2, 1, let us begin the run. Also, sorry for shaky cam at the beginning. That's just a thing that happens. Also,
Yeah.
let me introduce you to the worst psychiatrist you will ever see. Ignore every word he says. He's terrible.
Oh my gosh, I've never. This man is the most gaslighting man I've ever met.
Read your notes. The other therapist
Indeed.
look out for you. I want you to know
So,
this will be different.
we're going to be answering questions all throughout the run.
Your pace.
We're ignoring whatever he's saying, and we're going to answer things for speed. That's what we do.
We go back to the start.
There's
Yeah.
actually a warning when you start at the game saying this game will psychoanalyze you, and it's like, no, we're speedrunners. We're just answering to get the fastest thing possible.
Your therapy.
Apparently, that makes you a really terrible person, by the way.
Try to answer truthfully.
Yes,
It's easier that way.
it does.
But yeah, so these specific answers that you're seeing here, the reason why this makes you faster is by analyzing you, it kind of determines how the game presents itself. And for this specific questionnaire, that means a cutscene that we have later on is going to be a little bit shorter.
Indeed.
That's convenient.
Oh, yes. Shesh,
Yeah.
do you have any Silent Hill experience?
I do not. The only one I have is like I've been playing Dementium soon in my stream, which was apparently supposed to originally be a Silent Hill game. That's about it.
Yeah, it was. Well, kind of. It was pitched to Konami, and Konami turned them down. So they're like, you know what? We're going to make it anyway.
Yeah, kind of rules because there's also a sequel to it too.
Sweetie,
Yep.
Cheryl.
So right now we have a Cheryl button. We will only have a Cheryl button for like the first 4 minutes of the game.
Cheryl.
Fun fact, this game came out before Heavy Rain, so Heavy Rain ripped off this game. Take that.
Cheryl.
As this game originally came out on the Wii in 2009 and January of 2010 for PS2 and PSP, beating out Heavy Rain by a month.
Cheryl.
So, yeah.
I find that
So-
just so fascinating that the PS2 version came later.
That is really
Yes.
odd.
I mean, this is a port of the Wii version, right? So they were probably like, yeah, put it out on PS2, right? Because again, PS2, even in 2010, had a very massive install base at that point, so it made sense. That being said, because it is a port of a Wii game, you're going to see a bunch of stuff that looks like, hey, why is this like motion control-y? That's why, because it's a Wii game ported to PS2. It's kind of annoying, but you know, we make do with it. So obviously we woke up from the car crash and we're looking for Cheryl, our 7-year-old daughter who is missing. However, all is not quite what it seems, as you will see. Fun fact, these 3 cans will actually be different based on your answers in that survey we did, form, whatever you want to call it. So we're looking for a key. Of course, it was the 3rd one. Grab the key and open the door. Also, turn off the... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm still convinced that which candidate is dependent on how quickly you get to that point. I swear there's so many times that I get the same can so many times in a row, but, you know, could just be pure copium.
Also, everybody say goodbye to the Cheryl button. The Cheryl button no longer works.
No. Bye, Cheryl.
Yeah. And now we have... Oh, whoops. We have to grab the mementos. Here's memento number 1. There's no way to keep track of them, by the way. The only way to keep track is to remember how many you have. So we have 1 out of 25 currently.
Yep, there is a function in the game that allows you to like look inside the box of mementos, but the issue with that is that some of the mementos cover the other mementos and you can't move them, so yeah, it's kind of worthless.
Yep.
Also, all of these momentums throughout the game, they all have like weird, unique names too. Like that one was a little snow globe of a lighthouse and it's called a winter beacon.
I mean, it is winter, and lighthouses are beacons.
Yep, that's probably the most sensible one.
So now we're just heading back through.
Go ahead.
Oh, that was pretty much it. We're going back through, back to where we were, and now we're going to get ready for the first chase. You want to answer this phone call the second it pops up.
Cheryl?
Because there's going to be an event happening the second the phone ends.
Are you at home?
And so it's just a little bit of an easier startup.
For me.
And we're also going to perform a wee bit of a glitch. It's not really that impressive or difficult to do, but basically our path is blocked by that bunch of snow. So as everything starts to freeze over for the chase, if you're holding forward, he'll actually start walking through the snow like that. So the door is still blocked, but he's able to go through. So now we have the chase sequence. We can get a 20%, I think it's 20%, right? Speed boost when we get yelled at.
As far as I know.
But the issue is getting yelled at, because sometimes the game is like, I don't feel like it.
Yeah. Enemy RNG is like the worst part about this game.
That's the other thing too. There's no combat in this game. The closest thing to combat we get to is that we hit a button to get these pink monsters off of us.
Yeah, which is way better than the Wii version, by the way, where you have to do motion controls and half the time it thinks you're doing a different direction than you're actually doing.
You gotta love it when they grab you through the door. It's like, oh, thanks, game. Now, there is something to chase off the monsters, which are the flares. I don't know why it works, because I'm not exactly sure what they're afraid of, because it's not the light from the flare, because we have a flashlight, and they don't care about the flashlight light. Luckily, we don't need to use it.
Yeah, I think it's more about the heat, because they're icy boys.
True. And that's the end of chase number 1. And we're back in Kaufman's office. He's going to ask us some questions. Also, we're going to have to color in this picture, except for we're not going to color in this picture. But fun fact, if you color in the picture, the next scene will be the colors of whatever you color the picture in as.
That's really cool.
It's important, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean all that touchy-feely crap. You're not a very
I remembered as well too, and he asked me earlier about like if I have Silent Hill experience. Apparently,
Yes.
I barely remember this, but like when I was like young, like I want to say like 7 or 8, I want to say, I went to like a cousin's house and they were playing Silent Hill 1 on their like TV and let me watch for a few hours.
Is it true to say you're a...
Oh,
Nice.
Like when I was like really young too for rated.
Would you say it takes a while for people...
It's very odd.
to know you?
Weirdly enough too, we also got like Resident Evil 0, I think, one time for Christmas when we were like 10 or 11 or so. It was so weird.
Not their family.
I don't know what happened with that.
You prefer to...
I grew up in one of those houses where I wasn't allowed to consume any form of horror media. So Silent Hill was actually my first horror anything. It was the first game, and in my senior year of high school, I had an independent study German class, so I would do all of my homework for the week in one day, and then just sit on my laptop playing Silent Hill 1 on an emulator the rest of the week.
Oh, that's awesome.
so you may have noticed that I immediately just left the picture because that's a thing you can do. There's another Kaufman puzzle that you can also do that too. You just have to sit through the longest dialogue in the game before you can do that. And he'll ask you, do you want to hear that again? And it's like, no. So there are slow pieces and hints here as to what's actually going on with Mr. Mason here. Because he just went to his house, and that's not his house, and those people live in that house. And so everything's confusing. By the way, this is a speedrun strat. Moving back and forth is a speedrun strat. I'm not just doing this for the sake of doing it.
Very important. So important.
It is very funny. I love how speedrun strats in this game are get yelled at to go 20% faster or shuffle back and forth in your car seats.
Yeah, basically you want Sybil to think that you're a drug she ends up accusing you of being too restless in the back, and it cuts her dialogue by like 30 seconds.
That's so great.
Sure.
Yes. Also, the next memento is in the glove compartment, so that's why I'm also staring down, so that way when we hop seats, he'll automatically be looking at the glove compartment, and so I can grab that.
Yeah.
Anything you want to tell me?
I forgot that one a lot.
Of course I'm restless. I'm worried about my daughter. She's 7 and she's out there in this blizzard.
Sorry,
Yes.
I didn't mean to.
Just hurry up and get us to the station.
So, it's going to be a few seconds here. Shmumbler here actually has been playing around with disc skipping by opening the disc tray and whatnot, and I think he has cut, what is it, like 15 minutes out of the run?
It's at least 10, but those were on runs that I was not doing, like trying to do my best.
So
But-
then we grabbed the pack of cigarettes, and then we need to go look at the lock, open the lock, and hello, thank you. Again, that's sort of the pain when it comes to this game because it is trying to do motion control things. If the camera's not up high enough, it won't allow you to unlock the door. Or if the camera's not low enough, it won't allow you to open the doorknob all the way. And it's just like, really?
Yeah, my
I realize I
favorite.
said doorknob for handle, but whatever.
My favorite is when you grab the lock and you pull it up, but then as soon as you let go, it pulls it down just a little bit, and the door is still locked.
Oh, joyous of occasions.
Yeah,
And
that
then we'll
happens
lock
a
the door.
lot.
And then we're going to go get memento number 3 in the water tower. So we're just walking here. All mementos in any percent kind of take a similar pathing route, whereas UFO takes sort of veers off course from the other two. It's a really good thing that I didn't say, hey, I'll do both at once. Because, oh man, I'd be like, wait, where am I?
Can you do that?
You can.
Yes.
Oh wow.
There's not a category for it, but it would be interesting.
Yes, I know that UFO Techie has toiled with the idea of true 100% because there's also shadows littered throughout the game that you can find, and you get like messages and things from them. But again, there's no way to keep track of them. The only thing that there's a way to kind of keep track of is UFOs, because every time you take a picture of a UFO, you get a text message for it. But also, you have to look at that text message, and you can't go back to get ones that you missed. So even that is still counting as you go.
Oh jeez.
Yep. And now we're on our way to Mementos 4 and 5. The game has a very funny thing where it's going to give you a lot of mementos in certain spots, and then there's going to be a long period where we just get nothing.
Yeah, this section of the game, there's 3 of them.
Yep. And then once we get out of the school, there's like nothing until we hit Lisa's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't track these at all in game, right?
Do what?
Sorry?
And they don't track these at all in game, right? Like you said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't track them at all.
That's
Like,
oh jeez.
so like I said, we're going based all off memory. So that was number 4.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go get number 5. So we're about a fifth of the way there.
Thank you, moderators who have to manually count every single memento we get.
No kidding on that one. I'm glad I'm not a moderator for this game.
Oh, that drawer is such a pain.
And you may be noticing that we're picking up things that are a little strange. But that's because the game is, again, right now, we don't know the plot or what's happening. I mean, me and Shmumbler do because we run this game and we've played it a ton. So we know what's happening. But to the player...
Sorry, I skip all the dialogue now. I don't know anything anymore.
Okay, fine. Fine.
Babby, what's happening?
But we
then?
know... Well, I don't know. Do you want spoilers?
I'm down.
Because the spoilers is that Harry's dead.
Oh no.
None of this is real.
Oh no.
It's Cheryl that's sitting in Kaufman's office. And so we're picking up all of her mementos from when she was a child. Presumably, well, obviously the cigarettes would be after her father's death because her father died when she was 7, and I'd be really concerned if there was a 7-year-old smoking cigarettes, but you know.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So now we're in chase number 2. And if there's any Silent Hill 2 specifically Born from a Wish fans, you may kind of notice some similarities with a song from that. That is because parts of this songs are in that song, or from that song in that game, because he just kind of repurposed some things from that. It's called, I believe it's The Darkness in the Fog is the Silent Hill 2 track, and this is The Devil's Laughter. By the way, this game has the best ending theme to feature lyrics in a video game. I'm sorry, everybody, but it's a fact. You will get to witness it shortly. Also, I'm surprised I didn't get grabbed yet. I'm going to activate the flare to keep them off me.
You know, I've heard before because I've seen other people play this game, but like I don't recall off the top of my head, so I'm excited.
So I get real cheeky with the raw shucks here, and I'll take like a weird angle to where typically as soon as they climb up with me, I'm dropping down, and then right before one catches up to grab me, I pull the tree down on their head.
Nice.
Oh, that's unlucky.
That's usually how this goes.
That's ouch.
Now, do you jump down early or do you stay up here? Because I find
stay
staying
up.
up here. Yeah, I stay up too because I find that they leave you alone when you're up here.
Yeah.
Also, a bit of the fun thing that I mentioned before we went live that I was going to ask for content. Does the game ever just go, no, I'm not accepting your inputs, and you have to unplug your controller every run? Or before you do a run every time?
No.
Oh, because that happens to me every
No.
time. I have to
What
physically
the heck?
unplug my controller.
What does happen to me is it will just not accept one of my X inputs on this keyboard that you're doing, and I'll put in the wrong code even though I absolutely put the right one in.
I didn't double click parrot, unfortunately. But yeah, no, every time I play the game, sometimes it'll start normal and then all of a sudden it won't accept an input, like it'll keep it won't let me turn off the flashlight or something like that. So I have to physically unplug my controller and then it'll work fine again. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. And I didn't know if other runners suffered the same fate.
No, I can't say that I do.
What you're saying is not only are things haunted in the game, but also your controller is also haunted.
I guess. So now we're just running through. We're getting chased. There's 5 chase sequences because I don't count the last chase sequence as a chase because we purposely need to get caught in order to continue the story. So we're on chase number 2 out of 5. And chase 3 is the worst one.
Yeah.
All right. Also, I promise I will not go on the Shakespeare rant if the Shakespeare pops up. Because there are often times where I go on a massive Shakespeare rant, depending on something showing up in the game.
Are you sure?
It sounds like
Are you
concept to me.
sure? Yeah, I feel like most of the people here haven't heard that yet.
I've not heard it. I'm kind of down.
I think maybe you should enlighten us.
You might need to.
Okay, well, it has to happen first.
Also, don't forget this memento. Don't run past the car.
Is it time for your soliloquy?
No.
I'm sorry.
No, we got a little while before we get there.
All right.
Okay, so that's memento number 6. And then we head through the window. So we're about a quarter, or just over a quarter of the way through all the mementos as we head into the high school.
So no, not the Shakespeare puzzle in Silent Hill 3, although that is equally as cursed. Screw that puzzle. I swear, half of the references to Shakespeare in that puzzle aren't even, like, real.
And again, you want to answer the phone call right away,
No,
because it speeds things up.
I was.
Yeah, so fun fact with the whole disc tray skip thing, which I guess I'll talk about later on, this is the only phone call that you can skip with
I
that.
think it's the high school.
Midwich High School.
Haha.
Harry, Midwich has a gym. They often use it as an emergency shelter in severe weather. Go to the gym and wait there for me.
Emergency shelter. Sure, okay.
Actually, I guess I could talk about it since we're going into a session now. So yeah, the thing that I accidentally found one day because I had too much weight sitting on my slim PS2. Apparently,
So we get to the
if
house
your disc stops reading during one of these sessions with Kaufman or during certain cutscenes, the game just like
screwed a person up.
dumps everything from the RAM and it stops playing the dialogue and it will just skip you forward.
Took studying seriously. Nice
So yeah,
workbooks.
all of the dialogue that you can skip with Kaufman, plus that telephone call with Sybil, plus half of the car ride with Sybil earlier,
How you words.
it saves a massive amount of time. And it's just absolutely free as long as you don't do it in the wrong spot and crash the game.
Next. Slut.
Mm-hmm.
Drunk.
Again, answering these in a very specific way for speed purposes. I'm not lying about the speed purpose thing. And now we have to pick our perfect school day. Don't leave any empty. He's allocated a very generous lunch.
Let's take a different tack.
So generous. I love that there's no timestamp on it.
Cards with lessons.
Indeed.
Pick out the lessons to show me your perfect school.
I'm assuming that it's like an hour per course and I like half an hour lunch or something like that. I don't know. So we're gonna pick football, basketball, and math. Now, I don't know about either of you, but was there ever a math class or a baseball class or a basketball class or a football class
Let's talk more about
on
It's-
there, like where it's just those things?
So,
I wish there was.
weirdly enough,
no.
actually, one of the schools that I went to, they did actually have what's the word I'm looking for? An elective space for sports. Because they wanted their athletes to be able to take the last hour of the day to go ahead and start practicing early so that they could still go home the same time as everybody else.
Okay.
Kind of like that, honestly.
Yeah, when I was in school, it was just everything lumped together in this thing called PE.
Yeah, that said, the school that I spent most of my time in was a block schedule like that, and those blocks are like an hour and a half to 2 hours each. So there's no way that they would let you do that with a sport.
Yeah. For me, I was on
my
Go ahead.
Oh, go. I was going to say for me, it was a 2-hour block in the morning and then 4 other not blocks. And it was a 45-minute lunch, or was it a half hour? No, it was a 45-minute if you were in the high school. If you were in the junior high part, it was only a half hour. It was really weird that they got like an extra 15 minutes, but whatever.
Yeah, ours was that 4-block schedule, but the way we did it is we had an A day and a B day, and they would alternate.
For me, at least, like in terms of sports, I was on the water polo and swimming teams. So like in the morning, it'd be like 2 hours or so before like class even started of just like working out and like swimming and all that.
Yeah.
After school, it'd be also 2 hours of the same thing again.
Yeah, this is why I'm glad I was a runner.
Yeah, no kidding. You have to like work out in the morning, don't you? For that, you just have to do something after school usually.
Yeah,
that's a lot better.
Unless it's like the middle of summer, 104 degrees outside, then you come in before school, but you don't have an after-school practice.
I didn't do sports in school. My brother did, though. He was captain of the basketball team and the volleyball team.
Dang.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not saying that I was good. I'm just saying
I wasn't either. I was probably the slowest person in the water, but I could throw a ball. I can block a shot, so I was good enough.
Yeah. So during all this inane rambling that we've forced upon you all, we've picked up like 3 different mementos that are just back to back after the like 10-minute nothing that we just experienced. So that's how the pacing for this game goes.
Technically, we've only done 2 of those. Come on.
I also just want to point out, I hate the name of the last one that Abby just got. That little Barbie doll in the freezer. The name of that is My Plastic Perfect Girl.
Oh, that is... Ooh. That is terrible.
Yeah.
So now we are at number 9. There are 2 more within the school. So that's an example of one of the shadows. Some of them we just run across. Other ones you have to kind of go really out of your way to find. There is no speedrun category for finding shadows. It is UFO, all mementos, and any percent are the 3 categories currently available. PS2 is the most optimal platform to run the game on because the Wii has an unskippable cutscene because it is in-engine, whereas it is a FMV for PSP and PS2.
Yeah. There was a very short amount of time that we thought maybe the PSP might be the fastest version because there's a lot less lag opening doors and just generally doing things in the overworld. But then you lose all of that time and way more during the chase sequences when the game tanks to like single-digit frame rate.
So we're calling this number so that we can get the door unlocked. All numbers start with 555.
As you do.
Oh,
I said
that was
that
quick.
1-800 or something.
And then we go and grab the last memento for this area in the locker. There we go. And again, the game will slowly kind of clue you in as to what's going on, because in the cutscene I'm about to skip as we walk into the gym, we're going to meet a character named Michelle, and she mentions that there was a Cheryl at this school 18 years ago or something like that. Well, not 18 years ago, like 7 years ago or something like that. And it's kind of cluing you in that, no, she's not 7. This is really, like, it's slowly letting you in. So now, please, for the love of God. Okay, so far so good. We've got Hawaii.
Yeah,
Okay.
So there is a pool of responses that you can be expected to put in here, and it's entirely random which 3 you get. Some of them are really short, like Otto and Nikki. Then you have racquetball, or, God forbid, 12th Night.
Oh no.
Oh, I spelled Shiners wrong. Damn it.
Shitters. And you know what? Honestly, probably the funny part about this is that having just RNG
Oh,
with
thank God.
Ray.
We didn't get it. No rant for you.
Just don't accidentally reset the password again.
Is one of them Shakespeare? Is that why?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, no.
you have to
12th Night
spell out 12th Night.
with the space.
Jeez.
Yep.
We get the
It's
rant
the
anyways.
largest one by like 3 characters, and all of the characters are so spread out from each other.
I mean, I could give you the rant.
We do need the content.
Okay, so the rant is Shakespeare is a hack. Shakespeare should not be allowed anywhere. Shakespeare should be the greatest crime England has ever committed.
Dang.
That wasn't a war crime. They should be punished for having his works. Schools should be lose funding for having to make you listen to him. His works are garbage. They are trash. Get them out of the schools. Get them out of the parks. It's bad. Get out of here.
I'll be outside.
Good luck.
10 out of 10.
Yes.
It's so bad. I hate Shakespeare so much.
Who's calling?
I don't share some experience, but I don't have strong feelings in this case. But clearly you do, and I'm here for it.
Think you are. Please leave me alone.
Hey, also, just, wouldn't you, just throwing this out here, wouldn't you kind of know that you're not talking
is
about a
true.
7-year-old girl by the fact that you found her in the roster of the high school?
He would also remember, I don't know, the mother of said child,
Yeah.
which is a glaring thing. So this is the worst chase. And apparently, when I started running, I found new strats, apparently, that I wasn't aware that I found. And then everyone was like, oh, you found new strats. And I was like, oh, all right then. And
Love that happens.
apparently it has saved a bunch of time. And some in
time.
the community has deemed to call it Abby strats. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah. So the first half of it still sucks.
What is a run without a grab? But yeah,
Oh.
that's the extent of the combat, is that you just throw them off of you and then continue to run.
That was
Please don't
really
grab
rough.
me another time. Of course he does. Now you do have to go up to these 3 icicles for the next part to start, because you may have... Come on. There we go. Because if you just run up and turn around, you get that.
How did it not
So
give
we-
it to you? You were literally on them.
I don't know, sometimes it just likes to do that. So now we have to take 3 pictures. There we go, picture number 1. Whoops.
So you might be thinking to yourself, since, not much is going on right now, that we're given the freedom to just kind of go around and collect these photos. No, this is still a chase. There are still enemies, but the Abby strats that we're talking about is that Abby took one slight deviation of route that somehow, for whatever reason, just makes it where the enemies don't spawn until way later, at a point where it
Or
basically
in that case,
doesn't
right
matter.
there.
That's still a good spawn, though. What the heck?
Usually I don't see them until I'm like over the wall, over to the left of me.
Yeah, I mean, half the time I don't even see them until after taking this picture.
Yeah, because usually I don't see them till like right here.
Yeah.
And also, we never lose dude speed from the beginning of the second half. We keep it the entire time, which is nice.
Yeah. unlike the forest chase, thanks you so much.
And, there's another chase that does it too. The final chase makes you lose the speed twice. And it's like, why? Just let me keep it. So yeah, we didn't have any encounters the second half. And then we crash on through. And now we have the really long walking segment, where we're still trying to figure out if we can get ahead of Michelle, because the second really long walking segment, we can get ahead of Lisa.
Thought I ought to wait a little longer.
Oh, yeah, so if you do disc trace skip,
Any luck with the phone?
well, right here it crashes the game 100%. But if you do it while you're walking,
The sim
it makes Michelle stop talking, and somehow it also makes it where you're basically guaranteed to get in front of her at the end. It doesn't save time, but you do get in front of her.
At the club where I work, not far from here.
Mm-hmm.
I could give you a lift.
That would be
Because I'll just explain the way we do it with Lisa now. Basically,
going to freeze.
I think it's that the AI doesn't know what you're doing if it's off screen, so it doesn't try to remaneuver itself in front of you,
You're thinking about your
is how it goes, right?
That is a theory.
Head around it.
The other thing is sometimes, because like what it's doing right is it's checking to see if you're
Give it a while, okay?
on pace with it or past it, and it will speed up to catch up to you and bypass you again. But for some reason, when you're going at an angle or you're so far out to the side, it doesn't consider that being ahead. So it doesn't try to catch up to you until later.
That's fair. Because that's what we do with Lisa. We walk on the other side, keeping her off the screen the entire time in order to get ahead of her, and then she pushes us forward. Unfortunately, we haven't found a way to do that with Michelle. You can get ahead of her just at the end, even without the disc skip, but we're not sure if it saves any time, and it's kind of a little bit of difficult.
Yeah, I feel like I can pretty well say that it doesn't. Specifically because to stay in front of her, you have to swing out so far to the right.
And John?
That's fair.
It's just hard.
Yeah, when I timed it, I want to say it was pretty much identical.
John's a lucky guy.
Okay.
He's probably just lousy at showing it.
Which is unfortunate, because this is really slow.
Yeah, that's why I was really hoping that the disc skip would make it go faster.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
It did not.
You believe that?
Absolutely.
Luckily, we're at the end, and we can go inside and grab keys, and then go for really weird situation because it doesn't make any sense. But sure. So, we're running forward, going upstairs to grab the key, and she says, "Don't go prying into my things," but it's like, you told us to go into your room and find your keys. We kind of do that.
I mean,
So
I
we're
feel like
going
we
to
do a
click the
pretty good
bag.
job. We just kind of take a quick glance at the first two things. Like, we don't even open the purse.
Yeah, and we don't open the curtains. And then...
But we
it's
do
the
look in her
hamper.
undies.
Oh dear. Also, there's a beer bottle randomly sitting there.
Yeah.
Fun
Also,
fact. Oh, go ahead.
sorry. I was just going to say that the other room is the same room. It doesn't matter which door you go in, they're the same room.
Oh.
I got the
And then we got the keys, but it's not Michelle downstairs. It's Dahlia. And then we drive.
Ah, yes, Dahlia, the Burnett version of Heather, who is actually Burnett.
One way.
Yes.
Screw that. Let's cut up on Kincaid.
And also the mother of the child, and Harry's wife that he's kind of not realizing is his wife.
How long have you
Again, Harry only remembers Cheryl and nothing about Cheryl's mother. It's really weird
Don't do this to me.
and makes no sense.
Been out on
Makes zero sense.
Said you crashed your car. You didn't mention
Indeed.
this. Damn, are you in pain?
No pain. And I can remember.
Oh, and another little thing about this game too, the choices that we're making, not only does it affect the dialogue and stuff like that, but the choices that we've made have actually
Know who I am.
created this appearance of Dahlia.
Oh, yes.
Kids, you name them.
There's a few other looks. There's like a
There's a goth
kind of
look.
goth look. There's a very provocative, like blonde, a super heavy amount of makeup and blush with a off-shoulder shirt showing a lot of cleavage. There's, just a few different looks, and it's all based on the stuff that you've done up to this point.
Harry's outfit will also change based on those, and also how Sybil looks will also be different depending on your choices. So we hit the button.
So Sybil's funny because Sybil's appearance is entirely based on that very first questionnaire that we did.
So
Nothing
blue,
else changes it.
Yellow, and one of her looks, she looks like a character straight out of Twin Peaks. Another look is based on her Silent Hill 1 appearance, and then there's the one that we have currently. I think there's only 3 per character, I think.
That sounds right. I really don't like the Silent Hill 1 look, though, because it's
You know me. You know my daughter.
almost the same.
Why is this not?
Like, she still has the cropped hair, but then there's just a ponytail hanging out in the back, and it's like,
Be straight with me.
that's not the Sybil I know.
My daughter.
I know of her. Let's not go there.
Also, fun fact, did you know that this game wasn't supposed to be a retelling of the first Silent Hill game? It was supposed to be an entirely new game to the franchise.
Good old Cold Heart.
Huh.
Harry?
Dahlia.
What's it supposed to be about then?
I think it was like a girl trapped on a mountain, wasn't it?
I actually have no idea. I do
It
know
was
that they.
canceled very early on. I know
Yeah.
that much.
Dang.
I do also know that they had like a completely different system for the psych evaluation early on, and that got really changed up.
Also, Konami wanted to add in mini games. So, like, you may have noticed a dartboard at some point in the game. They wanted to be like, let them play darts. And they were
That's-
just like, no.
That's not really much of a surprise, though, is it? Considering Silent Hill 3 was originally supposed to be an on-rail shooter.
What?
You're right.
Actually?
Oh, yeah. It was supposed to, It was supposed to be an on-rail shooter.
Huh. This is all very
Yeah, Silent Hill
surprising.
3, as it is, was like a very last-minute thing.
No kidding.
Yeah,
But it turned out really well in the end because that game's beloved now.
oh, it's my favorite.
Good.
Oh, yeah. It's the best game in the franchise.
Yeah.
And then we're going here. And then we're going here. Yay, we got the glitch where he just warps up to the front.
Yeah, famously... Sorry.
Oh, and then we're going to stare at this. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, famously, the monsters in Silent Hill 3 took very little time to make because he was given very little time to make them. So the god monster at the end is literally just a bunch of reused assets stuck together, Frankenstein together. And it looks so cool.
There we go. Again, that's the end of the puzzle, was just making sure that you can hear the radio. And then pop. And we swim out of the river.
Hooray! You know what sounds great after almost drowning?
Everyone is going to die.
Talking about death.
Pretend otherwise.
Playing a match game
Die tonight.
with everybody's
Sleep.
favorite
Why
therapist.
does that terrify you?
Indeed.
How
So-
would you like to die?
There's no, basically the ones on the right we're going to put on the right, the ones on the left we're going to put on the left. If you put them all on the left, he goes, there's no fooling you. You do this, he just goes, there's no right answer. And then he's like, oh, actually, they're all dead. And it's like, oh, all right.
Okay. Game
Yeah.
time. There are
Also the consequences of our action, because if you
to tell me who
do other like paths of the game. He'll do the opposite and say, it's okay, they were all just sleeping.
Oh. Interesting. Also, the game can be really finicky about where it's putting things, so it's like you gotta fight with it sometimes.
There's no right answer.
There's also a weird thing with this game where it's actually faster a little bit, not a significant amount, to run it in 16:9 instead of 4:3. And for whatever, I'm not going to say for whatever reason, it's because it's stretched out. Cursor controls are a little weird on 16:9. They're a little more sticky.
A girl.
Hey, Shmumbler, are you ready to sing?
No.
So, for context,
You will never make me do it.
there's another runner who runs this game. Her name is Emma. During this portion, she sings parts of a song, and it's kind of just been a thing. Also, fun thing here, as you notice that we're starting to go into Frozen Land, and you hear the screaming. Fun fact, you could sit here forever and nothing will happen. There is no chase while he's in the wheelchair, as we are wheels, moving wheels. I'm a 1952 Studebaker coupe. And, of course, we're kicking our way through.
See, y'all two do the Studebaker coup. Starwind does running through the 90s. None of y'all are ever going to make me sing in this game. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
And we eat ourselves off of a staircase. And now the actual chase begins.
Hypothetically, if you were to sing something during this, what would you sing? No, I put you on the spot, my bad.
You have done the worst that you can possibly do by asking me to make a decision.
You can just name any song and get out of this one.
I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was Wheels on the Bus. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, let's go. That works for me.
There we go.
Also, like, that segment right there is the only reason to speedrun this game on the Wii, because it makes you do the rolling motion with the Wiimote and the nunchucks.
Oh, that's cursed.
This may have... I may be speaking too soon, but this may be my best hospital I've ever had. Yeah, I've only gotten 2 grabs. This is probably the best hospital I've ever had. As we're running, I'm gonna activate the flare just to make sure. Ah! There we go. Drop the flare. And run. And then we have to call into a radio station to pick a song in order to continue. That's the puzzle for this one.
You know, it's been so long since we got a Memento, I kind of forgot we were doing an all Mementos run.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't think it's been said yet, but does getting all mementos actually do something?
No.
No, well, it fills a box at the end. So at the end of the game, after the credits play, there's a scene with Cheryl. She's standing in her childhood room, and there's a box. If you don't collect any mementos, there's nothing in the box, and she closes the box. And if you collect all the mementos, there's a bunch of stuff in the box, and she closes the box.
Yeah.
That's
So
it?
technically it's more funny
Yep.
if you don't collect them.
I guess it is, yeah.
But this is do all the things, so not doing that would make no sense.
It also make me sad too. I like doing all the things.
Yeah. It also lets us
So-
see parts of the game that we literally just put another C. Otherwise C.
Which is honestly a big
Indeed.
reason why people should run gag rows like this. They're really cool like that.
God, please open.
this is one of the few non-skippable cutscenes. The game doesn't tell you if a scene is skippable unless you hit the pause button, and that just wastes time.
Even supposed to be here today. It's my day off.
Fun fact, depending on the options that you pick, what she crashes into the hospital with will change. Like she can do an ambulance, or she does the car.
I've been here.
And honestly, the ambulance makes more sense because of the giant hole that they're about to walk out of.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, it's nothing.
Although I'm not sure why she would be first arriving to work in an ambulance. Like, does she just keep that parked at her apartment?
Heading that way. Let me walk you.
This is true.
Lisa.
I'm
Good point.
okay, really.
Yeah.
But you can keep me
I mean, to be fair, I don't know why she was driving in the first place, considering we walked there in, what, less than 2 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, this is also a fun cutscene to skip with Disc Tray Skip, because if you do that, she, like, when you gain control, she's still standing by the car, so you just immediately get in front of her. It's great.
What happened?
I crashed my car.
Nice.
I don't know how long I was unconscious.
Meanwhile,
They're
doing
talking
it
about their
this
car
way.
accidents.
Yeah.
You made it all this way.
Meanwhile, doing it this way, you don't get in front of her until, like, the very end.
Mhm.
I can't piece together. She called me. Then I spoke to someone else on the phone.
And also, Harry's dialogue will change. He'll, like, try to romance her and whatnot, and it's just like, oh.
Grasp on the
He
truth.
compares himself
Yeah.
to Ronald Reagan or something?
Yeah, she talks about how she never gets to sleep because she's an overworked nurse. And he's like, well, that shouldn't mean anything because Ronald Reagan ran the country on no sleep for so many years.
What the heck?
You been in this long?
Yeah.
Harry can be a real dick in this game.
Compared to a
Yeah.
standard 9 to 5, I've
Yeah.
been in the hospital for 40 human years. I've slept through half
And,
of it
and I mean,
tonight.
this game was made by the British, so, you know, they're gonna
Call.
make Americans look bad or something. I don't know. I often, at the beginning of the game, go, listen here, you David Tennant looking, because, I don't know, he looks like David Tennant, because David Tennant was peak Doctor Who at this point, so it was like, you know, it makes sense that they try to put in some sort of reference to that.
Accident. What happened?
So he just looks like David Tennant in certain points to me.
Straight before I call my
It's just a thing. So we're walking with her off screen in order to pass her here, as I was mentioning earlier.
Now your turn.
And now
Not me.
she's gonna start crossing over, and if I can pull this off, huzzah, we win. So now she's going to push me forward, and we're going to cut off the dialogue and get into the next part faster.
Just
Nice.
remember coming
So it
soon.
works.
I remember coming off the road.
And then wham.
Came to,
You
I was
know,
confused. Cheryl was gone.
now we got speed tech coming up.
Post.
Oh god.
It's like being in a third
No, I
person
lost it.
crash survivor.
Oh no!
No.
Thanks for sharing, Harry.
I
How
lost
could
it. I'm
she?
sorry, everybody. All right. So, everybody, pay attention to the dirty light socket and the garbage. Pay attention to those things. Nothing else.
You know, last time I had a guy in my
Follow the cursor.
I am looking.
during the heat wave.
That is a
All you need
very
to
interesting
do.
paint job.
Freakier.
It's like a
Indeed.
periwinkle almost.
Time flies.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes. Also,
I
take a
like
look
the
at
trim.
the trash
The trim
can.
is nice.
Trash bin's kind of cool.
Indeed.
Yeah. It's a good color.
Yeah.
And then because we paid attention to the trash can and the light socket and whatnot, she gets angry. Oh wait, no. No, I screwed it up!
What happened?
You're a nice guy.
Did you just
So
Oh,
we're supposed to stare. So you're supposed to stare
oh
at Lisa.
no.
When you stare at Lisa, she gets angry at you, and the dialogue is shorter because she calls you a peeping Tom,
Check the cabinet.
and then she kicks you out faster. Is basically all
Yeah,
that happens. It's not
it's-
that huge of a time loss.
It's like
but I
5
was like,
seconds, yeah.
I was like, this is totally working, right? And then it was like, no.
That's really weird too, because it was like middle of the frame. I don't understand.
Bottom shelf.
I don't either.
Was
So
it
we're going
because
to
you
give
weren't
her-
zooming in?
Maybe. But we're giving her the wrong pill because faster dialogue if you give her the wrong pill. And then, of course, memento number 12, because remember, we're picking up all the mementos.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if we're picking up all the mementos, why didn't we get all the pills?
Because they're not mementos.
They could be.
And now it's time for the longest therapy session in the game because he goes just on this long, arbitrary story rant, and it's like, just get to the point.
Whether animals would
Just skip ahead in the dialogue.
Now we have supermarkets.
Oh, yeah, so fun fact, by the way, disk tray skip works on the part in Lisa's apartment too, so it skips the need to be a peeping Tom. Pretty nice.
If only I'd said something. You beat yourself up with your past. Don't blame yourself.
So, the goal here is he's going to talk about a story. Celestine ends up dying because of the bull who she gets trampled by. Then he wants you to organize the players by the most guilty to the least guilty. We're not gonna do that.
The chaste Celestine.
Also, he says the bull doesn't have a name, but a community member has deemed the bull is named Avis.
Prince Wilhelm
We love
is
Avis.
passionately in love with Celestine.
Avis is chill until he's not.
And also very guilty.
Comes to the king and asks for Celestine.
The most guilty.
Celestine
True, objectively.
not to marry her to Wilhelm, but the king ignores her pleas. Royal protocol.
He was the one who killed her.
The match. They are married, and Wilhelm.
I find the best cure for guilt is to never get caught in the first place. Let's continue.
Definitely the words that I most want to hear from my... Yeah.
In that field is a bull who, seeing the girl, charges her. She falls under his hooves and is killed instantly. What I want you to do is line the players up according to how guilty they are of Celestine's death. Whose fault was it? At the left, most culpable. To the right, most innocent.
And then he asks if you want to hear it again, and it's like, no. And so we just hit done.
Poor
Done.
You couldn't ignore the facts.
Very happy that yes is square and not X. Otherwise, I would hit yes a lot more often.
Indeed.
The best cure for guilt is to never get caught in the first place.
And I don't know if it's
sucks.
different in the gym. Oh, go ahead.
I'm saying his therapist is awful.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Just don't be guilty, Lamau. It's easy. Well, that's literally what he's saying.
The best way to feel good about yourself is to not get caught.
Indeed.
God.
And now we're going to go get the new momentum. This is a path deviation for all mementos. We don't go this way in UFO or any percent.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest path change in this category.
There we go. Running forward. Pick it up. Thank you.
So normally we just like veer directly to the left as soon as we get outside and just go past a sign for the mall and go through a door and end up in the courtyard. Here we're going through like 2 office buildings and up a couple flights of a spiral staircase and somehow end up in the exact same spot.
Indeed.
Mentally, I don't know how this works.
There's a warehouse connected to the mall.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like we go up a lot more on this path.
Answer the phone call immediately.
Lisa?
Oh, God, Harry. What if...
Fun fact, even if you give her the right pill, she dies anyway. So no matter what, she dies.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Unfortunate.
She just has longer dialogue.
I'm coming back.
So now we go back to Lisa's apartment. Also, we have a new contact for some reason. It puts her number into our contacts, but if you call it, you just get an answering machine. So it's like, why did we do that? Also, you can call Sybil periodically throughout the entire game and have tiny conversations with her getting more progressively angry at you.
I mean, fair. We do run away from her like 50 times.
You're not wrong. And now we're getting ready for chase number 4.
My favorite.
Oh yes, it's the worst one of them all. Because I said that 3 was the worst, but this one is the most aggressive.
This isn't.
So,
I mean, 3 is objectively the worst.
This isn't what it looks like.
But this one is the most annoying because gumballs.
Accident. I didn't do this.
Accident.
Yes.
Shut the hell up. You've been feeding me bullshit all night. You bastard.
I didn't.
Shut up.
I know you're not Harry Mason. Ice.
Also, 50-50 shot of whether you get the good enemy pattern or not right at the start.
Oh god, I never get good enemy patterns in this level. Are you crazy? It's like
Until now.
Yeah, there's a room where you do a drop down, and that's always the first spot that you encounter enemies. And if they're standing on the sides of the pool and they are walking to the side as you drop down, that's the good one, because they will not catch you by the time that you leave the door, the room, 100%. But if it's already in the dip with you, you're just screwed. There's nothing you can do. So, have fun. Good luck.
oh hey, I did
That said, the good pattern, the good pattern, it does like to come out the door right there, and if you're a little bit too fast, it can actually slam into you and stagger you and then grab you immediately after. So that sucks.
What the heck? Okay, Shasta, you're a good luck charm. You now must join me for every Shattered Memories run I do.
Let's go.
Yeah, so this is the good pattern.
Cool. You're welcome.
And there we go.
I do think, I
Running.
do find it really funny that this specific one has the 50-50 pattern when all of the other ones have 20 different things they could do.
So we're just running. They usually stop chasing me around the time that I get to the toucan, so it's pretty smooth sailing. But as Shmumbler mentioned, there is the gumballs. And I apologize to everybody because
Everybody in chat, go ahead and type in a number between 1 and 15. How many gumballs you think it'll take us for us to finish this?
I'm going 1, baby. Let's go.
well, we need 4.
I'm going 4,
but
baby. Let's go.
I'm specifically talking bad gumballs. I'm gonna say
But
you're
no.
gonna get 8.
The
8 bad
reason I
gumballs.
apologize for the gumballs is because you cannot turn off the flashlight.
Oh, that's
No
true
matter
too.
what, you can't turn off the flashlight, and I really wish we could. Oh,
Oh yeah,
red.
true. Probably a flashing light working for this part.
Oh wait, I didn't want. Oh crap, I didn't want yellow, did I? Or wait, no, yes I did because it's pink. Okay, that's not too bad. This wasn't too bad.
No, that wasn't bad at all.
Woohoo!
What was that, 5?
I thought it was 3.
Oh, was it 3?
I thought
Mine is skipping a little bit.
I wasn't really paying attention. I was just like, ooh, color.
I think it was.
Well, congratulations to everybody who got it right, because I did not.
So now we get memento number 14, which is the film in the hamster cage.
Ah, poor little guy.
No.
And then we're going to go get number 15, which is a pterodactyl. Also, can we talk about how pterodactyl is pronounced with a T but spelled first with a P? Who came
No.
up with the spelling of pterodactyl?
Who did this? I want names.
I also want to know who decided that knife needed a silent K. Why?
I mostly want to know who programmed the safe to have a 1-digit combination.
That's a good point too. It just gets a random number and it's open then.
Yeah. Also, why? This is my pet peeve on this. So when you're turning the dial, we're like turning it clockwise, I think. And so here's the funny thing: if you go one pip past the number that it wants, going clockwise, it will not count. But if you go one pip too far in the opposite direction, it's fine.
Dun, dun, dun. To be fair, I couldn't hear the pip, so I was like, did I make this? So that was me completely on a guess.
Yeah. Mostly we just listen for the little click sound to know that it's unlocked.
So we're going into this room because the code is faster. The other one is 2050. This one is 1789. But sometimes the game likes to mess with me. Hopefully it doesn't decide to mess with me because it messed with me yesterday. Please don't. There we go. So we ignore the call from Michelle and open the door. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just gonna say I hate that keypad with a fiery passion because it's one of the very few interactables that you don't hit escape to get away from. And I do it anyway. So I always bring up the phone.
And now we're about to get memento number 16. If you're wondering why I was turning on the flashlight there, it's so that I can see the staircase, because I can't see the staircase 9 times out of 10, and unless I do that, and we'll like hit a wall at some point. And now we hit the blue button.
Man,
And we hit the red button.
Here's another thing that I like to pull my phone open for. This is the only memento that kicks you out as soon as you grab it.
Hooray! There we go. And then we're gonna watch a home movie somehow in a theater. I don't know how the theater got this, but it did.
I love my daddy.
Oh boy, I hope you're ready to hear that one several thousand times.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Yes. The true horror.
Does it count for me singing in this game if I just chant with the video the entire time?
I'll allow it.
So we're heading to where Cheryl lives, listed in the school directory, the Simmons Street address, because Dahlia owns a pawn shop and apparently lives above said pawn shop. We're also going to get memento number 17. Because of course, that's a thing.
It's really funny that this is where she lives too, considering the significance of the Green Lion pawn shop in the original Silent Hill 1.
I don't know what that significance is, because fun fact, I've never played the original Silent Hill.
It's where you get your Otherworld transition right before Alchemilla.
Oh. Okay. There we go. Pick up the key.
Yeah, it's the building that you go into and go through a tunnel. And
oh, is that where they get the sloth or whatever it is to like knock them through to like go out of bounds, or is that a different spot?
yes, that is.
Oh, okay.
That is the romper skip, yeah.
Hey, we got a glitch to grab that. Cool.
Nice.
Woohoo. We're gonna get another memento through a glitch as well. And then of course we find Dahlia again, and she's our wife.
How do you know me?
This is one of my favorite scenes to disc tray skip in,
The lighthouse, maybe.
because it skips right there.
What are
right there. As soon as Harry yells out lighthouse, and then it just skips to you running away from her.
I hope you're all ready to fall. Also, this is the final chase sequence. There are no chase sequences after this. Because again, where we need to get caught in the actual final sequence, I don't count it.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
that's just me. Woohoo! So she turns to ice, and we run away. Run as fast as you possibly can. We're also going to lose dude speed like twice.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing a lot of falling.
There's also grabs that are basically unavoidable unless you're just insanely lucky.
But the chase parts of each sequence is very short.
Yeah.
Especially the first one, because it's like go through 2 doors and you're done.
Yep. And yet you can still get grabbed like 3 times during it.
Especially if you go the wrong way, like I did yesterday.
Ouch.
I was like, wait, where am I? Oh no. So now we take the great leap of faith. You can do it, Harry. I believe in you.
You got this.
Apparently, looking down slows the frame rate down, so we have to just stare here forward.
Oh, actually, it's even worse than that.
Oh, it is?
If you look down and to the side, actually, it just, you will keep falling forever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I found that out the hard way.
Oh. Also, that was Cheryl who was falling with us. Apparently, the Wii version is just a shadow. It's not even actual Cheryl's model there or whatever. I don't.
Yeah, I guess
Please.
PS2 isn't strong enough to do light play like that, so they just threw in another model.
I mean, the model is cooler than Shadow's.
It's true.
I mean, to
Getting
be
that
fair, the PlayStation 2 was the second weakest hardware out of the 4 6th-gen consoles. I don't know how many people knew that the GameCube was actually the second most powerful, with the Xbox being the most powerful, and the Dreamcast being the weakest. Shout out to the Dreamcast.
And yet it's still got a port years after Homecoming released.
Yeah, it's a little weird that they didn't make this go on PS3 and whatnot instead. I don't know what the decision behind that was. Speaking of Homecoming, according to the Japanese Silent Hill website, Homecoming doesn't exist because it was never released in Japan.
Actually true.
Random fun factoids. So now we're just going through the same room over and over again. Also, remember when I said you're gonna have to hear I love my daddy 1,000 times? Get ready, because it's about to happen
Part 1.
right about now.
I love my
Oh,
daddy.
there it is.
I love my daddy.
And then here we go. Falling down into the void part 2.
Yeah, I hope you didn't think that was all of the I love my daddies.
Because it's not.
I did for 1 second.
So we're falling into the void again.
Oh, there it is. I hear it now.
Yep. Into the void. And it gets slowly more distorted.
No, I think this is actually the one that I was staring down into the side. So imagine just listening to this in perpetuity.
Forever and ever. So again, we're going through the maze. And we're through. However, turn the flashlight back on, because I find if you have the flashlight shining on the ice sculpture, it goes faster. Because I've literally had the flashlight off right up to her, and it's like, nope. And then for this maze, follow the ice.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't been yelled at. This is very, very, very bad.
Oh, you don't do the thing where you look over your shoulder with the flashlight as soon as you spawn in?
No, because usually I get yelled at right away here. Usually. I believe I'm about to go through the final door right now. Yup. Thanks, game. So, yay.
Who jumps in more holes? Shattered Memories, Harry Mason, or James Sunderland?
You know, I think we're getting somewhere.
James goes down 5 holes in the prison.
Marriage worked a lot
Travis
better.
Grady goes down 2 holes in UFO ending.
Moon is over to
And
remind us
Harry
all that
Mason
the
goes
divorce
down
You
2
think I'm being cynical?
in this game.
Divorce does
So I think it's still James.
Yeah, that tracks.
Come on. You think marriage can really
I don't know if Travis goes down more holes.
Should a couple stay together?
Oh, so fun fact on this specific set of choices. This is the only set of choices that you actually still have to pay attention to when you're doing disc tray skip, because it changes the dialogue for the upcoming car ride, and that is one of the few cutscenes that you cannot skip.
Maker test.
Mm-hmm.
On the table,
And that's also why I answered them like that, so there's no, you know, things.
Yeah.
I like things.
And of course, this is where
My,
love
fav-
wins. It's
my
being
favorite speed
faster.
tech.
Woo! Now tell me which of those couples
Oh, they're still together.
I'm joking. You know.
Sir, you started drinking at the very beginning of this session. I don't know if that's legal for therapists to do, so I'm not trusting a word you say. Joking about trying to provoke us. How dare. And of course, the next memento is in the glove compartment.
Which one is this?
Yep.
This is number 18.
Nice, nice.
And it's a pen inside of the glove compartment.
And it's called Poetry as Precise as Geometry.
Family owns half the town.
It's a really
Oh, dear.
long name for a pen.
For real though.
Still fit into that dress?
I fit this one pretty
Maybe they use the pen for geometry class and poetry class. Maybe that's why.
Hey, sorry if
I guess you could technically use a pen for maybe as a stand for like a ruler, like maybe a protractor. I don't even know. I'm stretching here.
we might try and make this work.
Probably
you
for a compass, because you stick the pen into one side and the other side is the metal piece.
That could work, yeah. Good point.
Stop the damn car.
Or, you know, you still gotta make your lines for geometry, so you would use the pens to make the lines while you're holding a protractor and stuff.
Damn it. Bitch.
You know, that reminds me of a story, by the way. I had a geometry test one time in high school, and, well, I was making it up because I was sick. So I go in for it, and, you know, I'm just expecting it, like, I'm expecting to get everything that I need for the test at the test, right? They did not give me a protractor.
Oh no.
Oh.
That's killer geometry.
So now we have number 18, and now we're going into the sewer to grab number 19, where we may get another glitch.
This is also... I like the name of this next memento, too.
Ooh. I've never paid attention to the names of the mementos.
So, what Abby has to do to get the memento, I just want you to, watch that, and then I'll tell you what it's called.
So here we go. We're also going to ignore 3 phone calls. Actually, I think it's only 3 if you're doing UFO, but we're going to ignore 2 phone calls as well after we grab the memento. So we go to the fish. And the glitch is getting the memento before it's done puking.
Yeah, so we just opened up a dead fish to grab its vomit, and what we get is a bracelet from inside the dead fish that's called a happy bond.
Huh.
Very, very sweet treasure from that.
There we go.
Is it a bond with the fish or a bond with the person who wore the bracelet initially?
The theory is that it was a gift to Cheryl from her father at some point, but there's no actual evidence of that.
And now we get number 20. Again, the game likes to like group a bunch of them together. And it's like, could we maybe not do that?
Yep. And the next one is the one that not the next one, but the one after that is the one that I almost always forget.
Is it the one in the telescope?
Yes, it is.
Good old telescope. All right. So we hit the button and then jump over.
Yep, I always immediately go to the bar.
Don't go to the bar. Going to the bar, you done messed up.
Yep, because there is no coming back.
There we go.
And the way that works is you're making the telescope look at the lighthouse so that you can see the light in the lens.
Oh. And Michelle is eating cake. Sometimes she can be drinking. I don't know if that's completely random. It just happens sometimes where she's either drinking or eating the cake.
I assume it has to be point-based, but who knows what we're doing that causes it to change.
And now it's time for the final Kaufman section. Oh, yes.
Aren't all psychiatrists supposed to be obsessed with
The classic ink blot test, SE.
It's not us.
Yeah, specifically, You have to say which ones are sexual and which ones aren't.
Having sex.
Personally, I think the skull one is the most sexual.
I would say so too.
I want you to divide them up. The ones you think
But boy, do I have a disappointment for everybody.
the ones
Oh, no.
aren't the right.
Because the answer to this here puzzle is none of them.
I love his response to it, too.
Now you're screwing with me.
Yeah, so he's like,
Now you're screwing with me.
he's literally just like, I don't believe you.
Sex and death. Sex.
I think
Yes.
you're lying.
It's a leap into the void. The great loss.
Fun fact, when I played this game casually, I did actually put all of them as non-sexual, and then my end credits analysis was that I was a sex fiend.
Oh.
No.
So it's not just Kaufman that thinks that you're lying. Apparently the game does too.
You
But it's Kaufman that's writing the notes. So,
That's fair.
see this through to the end.
to the end. Fun fact, my first 7 playthroughs of playing this, every time you would say the tiger in space, I would absolutely lose it each time.
I mean, that is his best line, hands down.
So now we're going to go pick up the dragon before going into the amusement park. There's a dragon in the box. Just sitting on a bench.
I'm
And then there's only 2 left.
Ooh.
Yeah, and the next one is already filling me with rage.
Oh, is it because you get the bad RNG with the
I mean,
the slot machine?
I don't now that I have my little trick where I can like grab it like Rogue and grab it again. But yeah.
Yes. Almost at the end of the run now. And then we go to here. Spin once. Oh no, you have to do this 3 times.
So it's not random then?
Not random at all.
Nice.
The RNG part is whether the thing will spin or not.
Yeah, so if you actually do it as quickly as you can, you will pull the lever down and the game will just not register it. So you have to pull it all the way up and then all the way back down again.
There we go.
Very strange.
Indeed, and that was number 24.
And it's really annoying when you do it on every single time. So you get 2 full extra cranks for no reason.
Oh, whoops. I thought I've been playing too much Resident Evil. I've been speedrunning Resident Evil too much, so I was like, crouch button. And it's like, no, you just hit X. So that's why the phone came out.
Now that you've said that, I do also have to say there is another bit of speed tech that the game just straight up doesn't tell you about. It's not mentioned in the instruction manual or anything. But when you're doing stuff like crawling under obstacles or climbing over walls, you go faster if you mash X.
Yep. Come on. And there we go. Hooray! And then we wait for her to go through the door, and then we go on a boat. Who's ready to go on a boat?
I'm ready.
I hope nobody.
Me?
I hope nobody has a fear of boats.
I like boats.
No, that would be silly. What's scary about boats? I mean, it's not like we're gonna get shipwrecked on a ocean of ice.
Really not.
Lake of ice, but yes.
Oh, we are? Oh, no.
Hey,
Now I'm fearful.
don't talk to it like that. You're gonna hurt its feelings. It's big.
I guess the boat's just doing their best.
And Iceland. So this is technically the final chase sequence. I mean, it's not technically, it is, but getting caught is what we want. Also answer this phone call right away.
Harry.
And we can kind of see that Harry's kind of a dick, because I don't know, just
I love
listen.
you, Harry.
I'm sorry.
Did it sound like he was holding back laughter when he said sorry?
I couldn't really tell. Just the fact that he said sorry just took me aback a
I mean,
bit.
it's such a short phone call.
Because it sounds like he's trying to hold back a laugh when he says sorry. And I'm just like, you are a dick.
This wasn't the response I expected, honestly.
There are different
depend-
phone calls that you can get based on the choices that you've made. That is the shortest one.
Yeah, the one that I first got was for our daughter's sake is how she ends the phone call. So now we're just gonna run in a circle here until I start hearing the beeps and or see somebody.
And this is where I lose all my time.
Just completely random.
It is.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
And you need 4 of them to grab you.
Yep.
So we need lots of hugs.
My favorite part is when I try to weave and dodge my way through them until there's 4 of them that have spawned in. But then as soon as one grabs
despawns on
me,
you,
yes, exactly that.
Oh no.
It's like you can see all four of them on the screen together, and then the first one grabs you, and it's just like, hey, where'd everyone go?
They went to party time. Now, it says swim, but we're not going to do that. I mean, we are, till about this point, just so I can do this. It's the same amount of time to either swim across the lake or drown. Looking down into the water does not make it go faster. It's just a nicer visual, in my opinion. So now we just wait. I think it takes like 50 seconds or something like that.
Is that the car
Yeah,
from
something
earlier?
like that. It is.
Oh, neat.
Well, wait. Maybe not. It's the car that Harry crashed at the very start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know who the third.
This isn't even like a case. That's a good question, actually. I don't think I've ever noticed that. But yeah, this isn't even a matter of it not mattering what you do. It is specifically faster not to swim.
Wing.
Apparently, you drown faster treading water.
We have succeeded. And now we're at the lighthouse somehow. Also, Sybil picks us up. That's who's picking us up. And she's like, listen, she tells you that Harry died 18 years ago. But she believes that you're Harry Mason. Also, you pull a gun on her. You, like, reverse and pull her gun on her. And it's like, listen, go in there and find your daughter. And that's when the game's plot twist happens.
And here's
And of
our
course-
final memento. Congratulations, we have done all the things.
Yes!
Yes. Time is now.
Oh, that was quick. GG's.
Yes.
This is going
Indeed.
Right at the end.
Yeah.
This is the last one. All right, cool.
You're not listening.
Yeah, UFO does the same thing. When you get into that last area, if you take a right instead of going immediately to the lighthouse, there is a UFO like off the coast.
Yep. And you have to go pretty close to the edge to take a picture of it for it to count.
Yeah.
But Shmumbler,
Agents of repression.
promote yourself. Where can people find you if they want to find you?
Well, you can find me pretty much anywhere as just Shmumbler. Exactly how it sounds. Twitch, I do post things on YouTube occasionally, not much at all. Twitter, co-host, Blue Sky, all of the stuff. Not been super active, but what I will say,
Deny that Daddy died.
don't mind all that. Go watch Abby.
Actually knows who their parents are anyway.
Oh,
there we go.
okay then. Fair enough. Also, he's about to throw that glass, everybody. Like I said, he's a very terrible therapist. He has anger issues, and then he's just like, throw. And I'm like, hello?
What the heck?
But yeah, I'm Abby's Corner. You can find me on twitch.tv/Abby's Corner, Blue Sky at Abby's Corner, Twitter at Abby_Brander. I also have a podcast called Speedrunners and Coffee, where I interview speedrunners about their speedrun origins. It's available on like YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, Amazon Music, trying to get on Apple, working on it, and whatnot. You can also see me again later today on Hotfix for Legally Cute. I'll be running Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line, but you can also see me doing many horror games, because that's what I speedrun the most. But thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being on the show. This is fun to watch, honestly. I always love like all the lore and stuff of Silent Hill. It's my favorite part of watching a horror run in general. This is a good time.
This is the second best in the franchise, in my opinion.
Like lore wise, or just in general.
In general.
I also love Shattered Memories. I hate that it gets as much hate as it does. I think it's a really cool, awesome game.
It seems pretty neat, honestly, from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah. because it's not about the combat, it's about running and it's luck. Punchy says that it's 20% luck based.
20%
And I 100% agree with that. But this is like, it's one of those games that's very exploration heavy, and it does an amazing job at that. And it has just an absolute pristine atmosphere.
Indeed. Plus, if you're ever looking for a winter horror game, you got this one. There's not a lot of horror games set in winter. Don't
true.
you know? So yeah, our choices give us this ending where Harry's kind of a dick and all that stuff. And yeah.
Oh no.
It's great. There's like 3 endings where Harry is a terrible human being, and then there's one where he's actually a good dad.
Well, and then there's the other one where he gets abused by Dahlia.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot of context. But here's that song that I mentioned.
Weirdly enough, I think that's the only one I haven't seen.
I haven't seen it. I've like YouTubed it, but I've never gotten that ending. I've only ever gotten the one where he's a good person. And the one... So yeah, as you can see, all your answers are being typed into the patient initial assessment. And he's like, perhaps maybe we should revisit all of this again, don't you think? So basically, it's the game telling you to replay as he just details everything. And you get this banger of a song.
Health Frozen reigns the best.
Indeed.
Sadly, I don't think it's on Spotify anymore.
That's a shame.
It's on, I think it's... Probably not. I haven't had Spotify in months.
I think for whatever reason they removed everything, all the Silent Hill soundtracks except for the first 4. They used to have all of them.
Oh. Including the legendary Silent Hill Downpour featuring Korn?
Yeah.
Go Corn? Hell yeah.
Yeah, because Korn does the opening song of Downpour.
Actually, wow, okay. I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, it's only credited under Jonathan Davis, but yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, to be fair, Jonathan Davis sounds like Korn. Like, all of his stuff, independent stuff, just sounds like Korn stuff, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I guess that being said, this will conclude our show for today. Thank you for watching this episode of Do All the Things. After this is going to be a Starfield special, actually. They'll be doing an 8% spear of the game, plus afterwards, new game glitches run in the game. So stick around for that. But in the meantime, I have a few more announcements.